Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Welcome. So glad to have you. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. As you're joining, go ahead and meet us in the chat. We'd love to hear where you're joining us from. Share your name, where you're from, and what's your beverage of choice right now. I have got a ton of water ready to go. Let us know. Thank you so much for coming. We're happy to have you. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining, everyone. Hi, Chris. Hi, Bern. Brett, nice to see you. Imran, John, hi. Elaine, welcome. So many wonderful people in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Welcome if you're just joining us. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes with our What's New webinar. We're just sharing our names, where we're from, and our favorite beverage in the chat right now. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. Hi, Amy, Becca, welcome. Hi, Pete. Nice to see everyone here. Thelma from Brazil, bom dia, welcome. So glad to have everyone here. Thanks for sharing. Let us know in the chat too. You can see the screen okay, hear the sound okay. Marnie from Portland, it's hot today. Yeah, I hear that. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, great. We're just now hitting the top of the hour. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started in about 60 seconds. Just want to let everybody come in, get filtered in, coming from their next meeting, from their last meeting. So delighted to have you. Just a couple of quick housekeeping items. You're going to get a copy of this recording. So no worries if you have to leave a little early, or if you'd like to revisit it later, no worries. You're going to get an email from us with this recording. So keep an eye out on your inbox. Everyone will get a copy. We're also going to take live questions today. We have some pre-prepared. We're going to take some questions at the end. Go ahead and locate the Q&A button. It's like two chat bubbles overlapping each other in Zoom. You can give me a quick hand raise or let me know in the chat once you've located it. That's where we're going to get your questions for today. As you can tell, the chat moves pretty quick. So we'd love to gather your questions in the Q&A field. We'll have some pre-prepared ones, so we'll take those there. And then hopefully we'll get to a few more as well. Welcome, everyone. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and turn down the music. Hi, Chris. Hi, Lauren. Welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and turn down the music and go ahead and get started. Before we begin, can I get a quick hand raise from everyone? You're good to go, you're ready to go. Awesome. Making sure you know where the hand raise feature is in Zoom too. Pop quiz. All right, let's get going. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to be here with you all today. My name is Jennifer Clark, and I am the manager of our Miro Academy. So if you've ever taken a course, earned a badge, attended an education webinar, you have touched a piece of content from my incredibly talented team. And I am delighted to be here alongside the product expert team to connect with you all on some very exciting updates about what's new in Miro. We're going to have a lot of content prepared for you today. We're going to have some demonstrations. We're also going to be able to take some questions. So let me give you a few pieces for housekeeping so that everyone is on the same page. If you have questions about anything that you're seeing today, please do add it to the Q&A button. Let's go ahead and take a moment and locate it. It looks like two chat bubbles overlapping each other. Go ahead and give me a quick hands up in Zoom once you've located it. It's a Q&A button, looks like two chat bubbles overlapping each other. That's where we're going to put questions today. We're going to have pre-recorded or pre-selected questions that were already submitted. We're going to take a few other questions besides that. I'm already seeing the question, are we recording today? Absolutely, we are recording. You're going to get a copy of the board and recording so that you can take advantage of all of the resources we're going to share today. So please do keep an eye out on your email. That's where that recording will be sent to. Everyone will get one. All right, and I think that might be everything on terms of housekeeping. So I'd love to turn it over to Bree Rogers. She's our head of product marketing at Miro, to introduce the What's New webinar series and share a little bit more about the content that you can get into today. Bree, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jen. Hi, everyone. My name is Bree. I am so thrilled to be joining you all. I am joining from Amsterdam with a glass of water, and I lead product marketing here at Miro. I'm really, really thrilled to be here today with the team and all of you to share a little bit about what's new and what we've been working on at Miro. We know it can be really hard to keep up if your inbox or Slack messages look anything like mine. It's hard to keep track of everything that's going on. So we're really excited to have What's New as a new quarterly webinar series. It's going to be happening every 3 months. It'll give you a chance to learn about some of the new updates from Miro, ask your questions to experts from our product marketing team, and have more of an interactive session with us. In addition to the webinar, you can always keep up with what's new from Miro with our monthly blog posts. You can also look in product. You can browse to what's new in the product by tapping on the question mark at the bottom of the board and then navigating to what's new. So today we're going to cover 4 areas, which you can see listed on this frame here. And I'm going to give you just a quick preview of each before we dive into the details, starting with how we think about visual collaboration and hybrid work. So I don't know about all of you. I would love to see in the chat how hybrid is going for you and what that means for you. One thing that's really clear to us is that the past 2 years have really changed how we work together. What we hear most often is that workplaces are changing and generally they're moving to some sort of hybrid model. So some team members are remote, some are in the office. And even if people are in the office, they're often distributed in locations around the world. And that's really changed the way that we have to work with each other, and it's made it much more complex. We're not really working in the offices as much as we're working in our tools. So it's really important for us at Miro to figure out how we can support new ways of working and help you be really productive as a team in this new reality. So helping make hybrid work is a big priority for us. We're really focused on how to build new product experiences, both with meetings, but also outside of meetings, and to help you be more productive, whether it's making those remote meetings better or helping you get a little bit of that meeting time back and to do that work that happens after and before those sessions. We're also working on supporting all of the hardware devices that are showing up in your house or in your office and so much more. So today, Lisa and Lena are going to be sharing some of the new ways that Miro is supporting great meeting experiences for everyone participating, and just some other core improvements to the board and how you get work done in Miro. Our second area of focus is really all about you. So helping all of you connect and learn and grow from one another. We'll talk a little bit about Miroverse. If you aren't familiar with Miroverse, this is where you can find templates and learn best practices from creators all around the world, whether it's individuals or big companies like Salesforce and Deloitte. So Kristen is going to be helping talk through some of the improvements we're making to the Miroverse experience, both for creators and template users. The next piece is around product development teams. So we know that teams that are building new products and services really need to work closely together, and it can be a struggle, right? You need to be switching between different tools. Maybe your designers are in one tech stack, your developers are in another, your PM has their favorite tool. How do you get everyone on the same page and get that alignment across that group is so important for building great customer-centric products quickly. And so we really believe that Miro can play a key role in helping keeping those teams aligned and communication lines open. This is something where we're going deeper and investing more and more on the product side. And so we're really excited to share today from Turner and Jen about some of the updates we're making to diagramming on Miro and also some of the new apps we're putting in place to support Agile practices. So last but not least, hopefully this isn't news to you, but Miro is a platform, right? So we create a single pane of glass that connects a lot of the other tools that you're using for specific tasks. We've had hundreds of apps and integrations for quite some time. Back in 2019 was when we launched the first version of our developer platform. And earlier this year, we updated the developer platform. We've updated a new suite of frameworks and content for developers to be building on top of Miro, and also really boosted our developer experience. Today, you're going to hear from Christina about some of the new integrations and apps that have been built on top of the platform to help Miro connect with the other tools that you're using day to day. And this will really help you save some time and connect the dots across all your work. So that is all that I have to share. I'm going to hand it back over to Jen so we can get all the demos started.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bree, for that introduction. And I'm really excited to see all of the updates that are going to come out of this series as we connect you all with all of these important updates and information about what's new in Miro. So I don't want to hesitate too long. I want to get right to our first demonstration and update. But first, you should see a little poll come up for you all about some of the applications or tools that you're using for work meetings. And we're first going to hear from Lisa about a very exciting update to our suite of offerings here too. So Lisa, take it away with the update.
Thank you, Jen. Hi, everyone. So good to have you on today. My name is Lisa. I'm the product marketing lead for the meetings and workshop space over here at Miro. And today I'm going to be sharing an update on one of the latest integrations that we've built here in the Miro team, which is Miro for Google Meet. So Jen already mentioned the poll. I'm sure all of you are used by now to working with various video conferencing tools in order to support your hybrid meetings, and that's why Miro wants to make sure that we're also optimizing for this space. So with the integration between Miro and Google Meet, we are now enabling visual collaboration for users where their conversations are actually already happening right in the meeting space. So the value that we're trying to bring to Miro users here is that with using Miro for Google Meet, users actually no longer have to switch between apps or share their screen during a video meeting, which means that you can actually bring together teams in one inclusive space altogether. On top of that, Miro for Google Meet also allows for restriction-free collaboration. So even guests who aren't necessarily part of your organization will be able to view or even edit the boards without having to have an account, making it a truly inclusive environment for everyone that you're collaborating with. Also, it offers a seamless experience for some of the Google Workspace organizations that have already been using Miro. So as you may know, we already have built integrations with Google Calendar and Google Drive. So with this integration with Google Meet, Miro is really deepening our efforts into the Google Workspace. And we're also very proud to say that at this moment in time, Miro is currently the only third-party app that is available for Google Meet users. So a few important things that I do want to call out here in using Miro for Google Meet. So over the next period, if you're a Google Meet user, you'll start to notice that you might get a pop-up notification to inform you about this integration so that you can actually start experimenting and using it yourself. I already briefly mentioned, but again, I want to highlight that guests in your Google Meet meetings, so non-Miro users, can collaborate freely and save their board within 24 hours after the meeting ends. So for those organizations who may need admin approval to enable Google Meets, admins can restrict certain teams or individual users from using Miro for Google Meet. EU-based customers may actually need this admin approval before they can access Miro for Google Meet. In addition, under 18 accounts are excluded from using the integration. And I'm happy to say that the integration, aside from admin approval, is available for Miro users across all price plans. I also want to touch briefly on how the integration actually works. So let's hop on over to the next frame. So what you'll be able to see here in this screen is a few screenshots of what it would look like if you're actually in a Google Meets meeting. So in order to start working with Miro in your Google Meets meeting, you can just hit on the activities button at the right bottom hand. And then from there, select the Miro app. Once you do that, you'll be able to sign in through the panel that is opening up there. Good to call out here is as well that if you've already signed into Miro in your browser, there's no need for you to sign in again. You can seamlessly access the next panel. So once you've signed in, you can then actually select a board that you want to open in the meeting or create a new board for the meeting that is specific to that one. Then you can simply set the permissions for everyone joining the board. So you can decide whether or not everyone can edit, comment, view, or set the board to private. And then once you've enabled the settings, you can simply hit invite to collaborate, and everyone will be able to join the board without having to switch their tabs or open any apps. I can already see that from the meeting, from the poll, that a few people who are actually joining this webinar today are currently using Google Meet. So I'm happy to see your experiences. So please let us know what you think, and hopefully you'll be able to benefit from this new integration as well. Yeah, and with that, I'll be able to hand it over to Lena.
Thank you, Lisa. And let me take over the screen sharing so that I can quickly demo a few of the exciting updates that we've been working on recently. Bear with me here.
Lena, just really quickly, a little tough to hear you. We're getting some feedback in the chat about the sound.
Okay. Is this any better?
A little bit, maybe one more time. Sorry, everyone. We're just going to technically fix that really quick. 1 second. Thanks for your patience.
This might work better.
Much better. Go ahead, Lena. Thank you.
Yay! Okay, we fixed this. Now let me go back to screen sharing and let me tell you a few words about board improvements that our team has been busy working on. So hopefully, as you all know, Miro product teams are extremely committed to making collaboration more delightful, more fun, more effortless where possible with every product update that we ship. And there are a few mighty and powerful updates that we recently released, and I'm going to tell you a few words about them and then show how they work. And the most exciting part about it is that everything that I'm going to talk about is already live on production and available to all Miro users across all plans. So the updates that we're talking about today are author labels on sticky notes, improvements to ways we can format text on stickies, and something that I know many of you have been waiting for, cropping images to shape as you're working on visual content on your Miro boards. And now let me hop over to my demo board and put everything that I just mentioned into a little bit of context. So imagine you are running a collaborative session with your team and you want to talk to them about ways you can improve teamwork. And you're starting off with setting up a quick icebreaker where you want to get ideas from your team members and you want to lead by example. And that's why you're adding a sticky note and saying that clarifying ownership early on is something that can definitely improve teamwork. And as you can see in the context menu for the sticky notes, there is an icon that allows you to show your name on the sticky notes so that your team members can circle back with you, give you feedback, ask clarifying questions, and know exactly who came up with this brilliant idea. And as you see, if I add another sticky note, I will also have my name on it. So once this is enabled, I don't have to go back and turn it on for every sticky note that I create. But this is not everything, right? Because we did not just introduce author labels on sticky notes, we also want to allow you to focus your team and emphasize the things that are important. So imagine I'm saying that setting clear team goals is also extremely important. And what I want to emphasize here is that the goals need to be clear. What I can do now, using the same context menu for the sticky note, is actually underline the word clear here to make sure that everyone is focused on what is really important and what I want to emphasize. So these are two smallish but really mighty updates that we have for sticky notes. We know how much our users love sticky notes. This is one of our best loved and most used features. So hopefully this is going to take your collaboration to a whole new level. And like I said, this is not everything because we're also doing something to elevate your visual collaboration. So let's go back to the idea of running this team session. We're done with the icebreaker and I have a few slides here where I want to talk about ideas and best practices that can help us work together better. And obviously, as I'm working on slides, I want to use visuals to make sure that what I'm communicating is compelling and memorable. And what you can do now is play a little bit with the visuals and crop them to shape, making sure that they look exactly as you want them to, making your presentations, making your boards with visual content more engaging and appealing to your team members. So these are a few updates that we were working on recently. They're all available to all Miro users across all plans, so you can try them immediately, and hopefully you will enjoy using them as much as we enjoyed building them. This is everything that I had today, and I'm handing it back over to Jen.
Lena, thank you so much for those exciting updates. We had so many excellent questions about your updates. So I just want to encourage everyone, please put those in the Q&A. If we have some time, we'd love to dig into some of those specifics and make sure that we're getting you all the information that you need to best use all of the newness that you're seeing today. So thank you so much for the engagement and the questions there. Keep them coming. Now it's time to move on over to Kristen's update on community. But first, we have another poll for you. We'd love to hear, have you ever visited the Miroverse? And hopefully you've used a template before, because I would love your recommendations. You'll see some of my favorites in just a moment. But I personally love using the character building icebreaker and a few others. Share your favorite template in the chat. We would love to see your suggestions. I'm always discovering new ones when I explore the Miroverse. And Kristen, I'd love to hand it over to you to share some updates about how the Miroverse experience has been improving lately.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm going to introduce the latest updates and improvements for Miroverse. I'm also going to start off with a little bit of an introduction as to what Miroverse is, seeing as I see we're a bit split between yes and no there. So if you're not already familiar with Miroverse, Miroverse is a space for community members to share their wealth of knowledge and creativity with the world, with over 800 creators and from teams and individuals at companies like Zendesk, TED, and AJ Smart. Miroverse provides a broad collection of over 1,000 free community-sourced ideas, tools, and resources, with more templates published every day. So I have 3 updates to share with you today. Improvements to template publishing, saved likes, and updates to search and sorting. So starting with improvements to publishing. This is a process that previously took some over an hour, but now only takes minutes. Jen, can I ask you to play the video? Thank you. So,
oh, one moment, sorry.
No worries.
We'll get it to play. My screen looks a little split on my side. 1 second. We'll get it full screen again. And we'll play. Okay.
So we've rebuilt the Miroverse publishing process for a seamless experience, giving creators more control over the appearance and management of their profile and shared templates. We've made, you can easily share your ideas with a more intuitive and flexible submission form in just 3 steps, starting with select your board. Then you'll need to add the details. And so you can also preview this yourself to ensure everything is exactly as you'd like here. And if you're not ready, there's also automatically saved drafts. So you can go back to it and pick it up again. And then the 3rd step is just to submit. So you can use a submit button to share it with our team for review. You will also get visibility into the review process with status updates, both in Miroverse and via email. And now you can also keep your expertise up to date with profile and template editing. So this helps with all those little details that always come after publication. You can correct typos, add those last minute ideas, and also continue to refine and update as you would with your best practices over time. So anyone can be a creator, and with these updates, it's now even easier for you to share your expertise and bright ideas. Thanks so much. So the next update we have for you is saved likes. It's now super easy to find your favorite likes again. So Jen, can I ask you to jump into Miroverse?
Absolutely.
Great. And can you like a template for me? So simply tap the heart icon on any Miroverse template, and you can add this to your likes. This works for any logged in Miro account. Now you can find your likes again by heading to the top right nav bar and select your likes from the dropdown. Perfect. If you don't have a Miroverse profile already, we'll simply save them to a private gallery that only you can access and see. But here you can see that Jen already has one because she's already, they've already published templates here. So you can get a sneak peek at Jen's and any other creators' likes as well. From your public Miroverse profile, you can guide others to this curated playlist of all your own favorites by sharing the slides page. Here you can see Maria's as well. And then the next update is for search and sorting. So I mentioned earlier that there are over 1,000 community templates in Miroverse. So while the ideas are flowing, and it's genuinely inspiring to see, it makes it a little bit tricky sometimes to find the exact template that you're looking for. So these two updates really make it easier to find those treasures. So Jen, can I ask you to put ice into the search bar? Thank you. So search improvements mean that you don't have to get the spelling exactly right. So whether it's icebreaker, say with a hyphen, or icebreaker without a hyphen, with a space, without a space, all of the different icebreakers that are there will show up for you now in those search results. We've also added the capability to sort templates. So for this one, if I could get you to jump back to a category. Thanks. Anyone will do. Team build, great. So here you'll see it just above the templates. You'll have the ability to sort by, and if you click that one, you'll now be able to sort by recently added, most used, views, and likes. And you can find the most popular templates by looking at the most used here for each of these different areas. And when 1,000 options don't feel like quite enough, you can also use the newly added to find the most recent ones there. So that's all for Miroverse, Jen, updates. Thanks so much for demoing with me and taking the lead there, Jen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kristen, for taking us through that. We've left a few GIFs and a little bit more support for you in the content on this board. So if you want a little refresher about how to get back to any of the things that Kristen just mentioned, you'll have those support, those resources for you there. One other reason why I really love using templates is that it makes it easier to get the work done. You know, you've already got that template, you've already got that workspace in process or in building. And I think diagramming and the shape packs that we also have available do much of the same thing, help you get the work done faster and more efficiently, especially if you're doing specific types of workflows and work. And so I'd actually like to take the mic back and hand it over to Turner, who's going to share a little bit more about updates with diagramming in the deep support for product development workflows. So Turner, please take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Jen. Perfect introduction, spot on. Hey, everyone, my name is Turner. I'm based here in sunny Amsterdam. And today I'm going to take you through our diagramming improvements. So let's kick it off with the next frame. In this session, I'm going to cover 3 solutions that you can start using today to make your diagramming experience a lot easier and more collaborative. So the first one is Swimlanes. These help you divide diagrams into logical areas. So can I get some hands for people that create flowcharts, BPMN, or UMLs? Adding swim lanes to these diagrams help people understand responsibilities and structure. Now, the second one is theming. And this helps you reduce time spent on styling while creating great looking diagrams. And we have 6 beautiful preset themes that you can apply to your diagrams you create. And I'll show you my favorite one during the demo. Now, lastly, with callouts, you can add critical information and guide people through diagrams without needing any voiceover. And this really can save you a lot of time in explaining diagrams. So I'm happy to say that everyone can start using these solutions today. So now let's see how this looks in Miro. So before starting the video, oh, there we go.
Sorry.
So let's see, I want to create a flow chart for my team that shows the steps in an ordering process. Now let's go ahead and play the video. You would open up the diagramming tool and create the swim lanes first. These show who's responsible for a certain task. Then with one click, I apply my favorite blue, red, and gray theming to the diagram. And finally, I add the callouts. So my team won't need additional voiceover, which makes it much easier and intuitive for them to use the diagram without needing further support. And this GIF will start looping. So anybody that's interested, jump back on this frame and you can see how it works. Now let's move to the next one. Now for some super exciting news on software engineers on the call, and actually anyone that creates business information systems. We've added ERD to our shape pack. So fun fact, with more than 300 upvotes, entity relationship diagrams was number 9 on our community wish list. So I want to thank everyone that voted, and this one is really for you. So with the ERD shape pack, you can create well-designed systems with less rework during the build process. And going into a little bit of details here, but this shape pack includes cardinalities like Crowfoot and many-to-one. However, the most important thing is that you can visualize databases and collaborate in one tool. Now, ERD is part of our smart diagramming, and if you're an enterprise, business, consultant, or education plan, you can start using it today. Now, let's see how it works. So you can play the video, Jen. Great. Here you can see on using the ERD shape pack, she starts dragging in the shapes. And then once the shapes are in, she draws a line that shows the relationships between the entities, also known as cardinalities, to design her database. Her team can then visualize the database and collaborate on the fly, all in one tool. So back to you, Jen, for some very exciting stuff on Agile.
Awesome. Thank you, Turner, so much for those updates. Really, really exciting. I am seeing a little piece of feedback in the chat that some folks are having trouble seeing the screen. Can I just get a quick confirmation in the chat that everybody can see the screen okay, that it's centered and big enough? Okay, good. Hopefully, if you're having a little bit of trouble, maybe leaving and returning might fix the problem. So just wanted to give everybody that quick heads up. All right, great. I also am seeing a lot of questions as well about recordings. Do not worry, we will get you one tomorrow. So keep an eye out on your email for a recording, and you'll be able to take all of this back in if you want to focus a little bit more time on any of the updates we're sharing today. I am really happy to also introduce our next update on behalf of my friend with the same name, Jennifer Easelman, about some of the updates we're making to our Agile workflows, which is really exciting because we also have a webinar that is coming up on the customer education team that'll hopefully show some of these updates in context, along with a lot of other features and things that make Agile events and organizing easier. And that is to introduce our Agile Estimation App. Now, just a quick show of hands. Who here, does estimation as a regular part of their workflow or as a regular ritual or event with their team? I know that even if you don't exactly fit on a Scrum team, estimation is something that many teams are engaged with. And I'm really excited to, on Jenny's behalf, share a little bit more about how the estimation app will work. The goal of this estimation app is to add a bit more structure to that process when everyone is looking at all of these items and trying to understand effort and calibrate as an entire team. It'll help increase the accuracy of your estimates. And it's also really great to give everyone a voice with votes so that everyone can participate, whether they're fond of maybe coming off mute on the microphone, jumping into the fray. Everyone will get a chance to do that on the board. I also wanted to share that our estimation app works with Miro sticky notes, cards, and Jira cards. We'll show a little bit of that today, enabling you to sync estimates with just one click. If you'd like to see this estimation app in context with Jira, we'll actually do a full demonstration of that in our upcoming Agile webinar on August 9th. I'll drop the link in a little bit later, but it's also located on the board for you to see as well. Now, I'd love to show you a little bit about how the estimation app works with a few samples of some backlog items that we might be debating and discussing as a team. So as you can see on my screen, we have a few different cards and a couple of sticky notes that'll allow us to do some estimating together as a group. To find the estimation app, you're going to see it located in this collaboration toolbar up here, this facilitation toolbar. If you don't see it, you can always use the drop-down arrow right here that says more apps to locate it, but I've got it right here in my recently used apps. It looks just like this little card with a number 3 on it. So when I click on that card, everyone in the group will be oriented toward each one of these items, and it will allow all of us to estimate. So maybe let me get a quick idea from the chat. How many of you are, what do we think? Test and deliver new copy for headline. I think I'll go ahead and give that a 2. So I'm gonna, oh, sorry. I think it's like already a little bit past. Let's go back. Sorry about that, y'all. We're seeing like the halfway point in that estimation. Let me just make sure that we can get back to the center. Okay, let's clear, whoops. One moment. I think that maybe it's because we were estimating on the board earlier today. Maybe that's what the trouble is. No worries. Well, I'm happy to explain it. And of course, we'll do it from start to finish in the setting. But essentially what you'll be able to do when you click on the estimation app for the first time is it'll allow everyone in the group to go one by one on each of these cards and stickies to share their estimation, to share their vote. And then when you go back to it after the voting period is done, you'll be able to see what did everybody rank each individual item, and then share your agreement, your vote, and your consensus to make sure everyone is on the same page, or highlight ones for deeper discussion and deeper input from the team. So again, you'll be able to click that little card and kind of understand what were the most popular votes per item. And if we agree that, yeah, the 2 vote, that's the one that I agree with, we'll see a little champion logo there to give us the input that this is what everyone agreed on. So as you go through that process and go through each item and decide on the agreement for your estimates, hopefully that will bring even better alignment to you and your team. So again, as I mentioned, come to the Agile webinar. We'll show you how to do this start to finish and in context with Jira. We're really happy to see you all there to give you a little bit more input. All right. Now we're on to our next update from Christina, but before I call her up to the stage, I would love to hear in the chat, while we're on the topic of apps and integrations, what are your favorites? Because I always love hearing which particular app or integration everyone's using for their particular workflows. I know that myself personally, I'm a heavy user of stickers, Asana for Miro. Those are like 2 of my favorite ones that I find myself using again and again. But I want to hand it over to Christina to share a little bit more about some updates to our integrations and developer platform as well. So Christina, please take it away.
Thanks, Jen. My personal favorite is the Slack integration because it makes it really easy to track things while on the go. Hi, everyone. I'm Christina, Product Marketing Manager on the Miro Apps Integrations and Ecosystem out of the Amsterdam Hub. And I'm really excited to introduce our newest set of apps available today on the Miro Marketplace. So we can move on. As you might already know, the Miro Marketplace is Miro's home for apps and integrations, where you can explore new ways of working and connect Miro to many of your other tools in your tech stack. These apps are built by our partners and community developers to help you automate everyday tasks, export Miro content into other tools, and speed up your projects and workflows. You can explore all of Miro's apps and integrations directly from the board settings, or by going to miro.com/marketplace. You can also let us know by submitting ideas for new apps or build your own app with the new Miro developer platform. And now let's dig into 2 of our newest apps, Google Images and ClickUp. Super excited to introduce Google Images. And this is for anyone who is looking to add a bit of visual aspects to your work and some obviously very interesting images without having to go download and copy and paste. So all you have to do is add the Google Images app to your board and then just search for an image that you want to add to the board, let it load, and then just drag and drop it directly onto the board. Then you can edit it or resize it or even crop it, move it around and use it in your presentations, planning sessions, brainstorms, and it really saves a lot of time, especially when you're working with a lot of different content. So again, all you have to do is drag and drop and paste it on the board. So for any ClickUp users, we also have a brand new ClickUp bidirectional integration. And this will save you a lot of time during planning sessions and quarterly planning and team brainstorms. So imagine that you're having a brainstorm session with your team. You have a lot of great ideas. There's a lot happening, but you want to kind of make sure you're getting all the ideas in one place. So you open up the ClickUp app from the tab, and then just copy and paste any of your ClickUp tasks directly on the board. So all you have to do is import the tasks, and they'll get updated in real time with any changes either in ClickUp or in Miro. You can even edit the tasks directly from the board. So you can edit things like the task name or the status or priority. and you can see all of the changes reflected in real time back into ClickUp. And then you can even create new tasks directly from ideas on the board. So let's say you have some really great ideas on a sticky note. You can immediately convert them into tasks in ClickUp, and then just start acting on them and executing on them from the ClickUp space. So all you have to do is click convert, and then you'll see them reflected into the ClickUp space automatically. This makes it really easy to keep track of tasks, both on the board and in ClickUp, and make sure that your team's on track without having to replicate work in both places. Cool, I'm going to pass it over to Jen.
Awesome. Christina, thank you so much for those exciting updates. I know that my screen looks really big right now. I was trying to make sure that we could get all of the updates like in view. So I'll try to fix my how large all the menus are in just a moment. But just wanted to thank all of our presenters today for sharing and demoing a few of the What's New updates. And now we would love to answer your questions. We have some pre-prepared that we'd love to get to first, but this is just a quick reminder. Go ahead and head over to the Q&A button in Zoom. That's where you'll be able to share your questions. And we have quite a few in there. So you might even want to upvote one if your question was already shared by someone else. We'll try to get to a few today and then share where you can learn more after today's session, including some resources that might help give you more guidance on some of the things you're curious about today. We also wanted to mention that you can join us in the community to submit any of your feature ideas. As Turner mentioned, one of the ones that we discussed today was a direct result of the feedback that you all shared in the community. So we'd love to hear from you there. That link is there. We'll try to drop it in the chat as well so that you have that place. We are also going to have a little poll. Just wanted to confirm that we're going to do it right now. All right, great. Yeah, so we're going to get a quick poll out there. We'd love also to hear from you directly. What were you really excited to see an update on today? Get a little of your feedback. Thanks very much in advance for answering that. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to the team now to answer some of the pre-submitted questions that we received. The first question was, how can I start using Google Meet if it's not available for me yet, from Sierra? Lisa, thank you very much in advance for answering this question.
Yeah, no worries, Jen. So if the integration with Miro and Google Meet isn't available to you yet, this might have something to do with the admin approval. So there's actually a few steps that admins can take in order to allow the integration to actually be activated. So we've linked out here to a page that lists all of the steps that your admins needs to go through in order to get the approval. So if you're not able to use the integration just yet, make sure that you're reaching out to your admin so that they can follow along with these steps and that you can get the integration going as soon as possible.
Awesome. Thank you kindly, Lisa. We have another question from Jake for Turner. Will there be capabilities to embed Excel or other tables in ERD shapes?
Well, yeah, thanks, Jake. I think that's a great question, and we're always looking to improve our solutions. So I think the best way of this is proposing a new feature through our Miro community wish list. Here we actively check feature requests to plan our roadmap. And I think ERD is a great example of the community really grouping together and upvoting this to the number 9 on our wish list, which we've now been able to roll out. So I'll drop a link to the community wish list in the chat, and feel free to drop your requests.
Thank you for that answer, Turner. And then lastly, for Kristen, how can I see how my Miroverse template is performing? From Laura.
All right. Jen, do you still have Miroverse up?
I do. Let me go ahead and head there.
Might be easy to jump in and demo. So the answer is yes. You can find your likes, views, and copies for each template. It's publicly available for every template, including your own. My recommendation is that if you go to your profile page, you'll be able to quickly and easily see all of the templates that you've published. And from there, if you just hover along it, in the bottom right, you'll see how many times it's been liked. I can see you've liked your own template there. Cheeky.
Shameless.
And in the top left, you'll also see how many times it has been viewed and copied. So it's an easy way. Another quick tip tip. Another quick tip here is that with the sorting, you'll now also be able to see how you fare against others if you're looking at your specific categories that you've been published in.
Awesome. Kristen, thank you for that update. And I am shameless, liking my own templates and showing off how popular mine are. So thank you all for indulging me while I do that. My hot tip of the day, please do explore Miroverse. It makes getting work on the board so easy to do. All right, so I think we have a bit of time to answer some live questions, which I'm really excited about. I'm just going to get a little organized here on the back end so I can make sure that we are teeing up everyone correctly to answer questions. Let me just confirm. Let's see. Google Meet one. Okay. If I could just, Brandon, if you could, for the question that we're going to answer, just click answer live on it in Q&A. That way I can see it pop up to the top. It'll make it a little easier for me. Just confirming. Thank you all so much for letting me vamp a bit while we get organized. So many excellent questions. We just want to make sure that once we can get the answers to most quickly. Go to the top. Okay, let me just confirm. Sorry, Brandon, if you're getting my attention with it, I cannot see it, unfortunately. Let me just make sure we're getting organized. Thank you all for your patience. All right, great. So I'm not sure who directly the question is from, but we did have a question. With the Google Meet integration, can people access the board post-Meet? The same with the Zoom integration. Lisa, love your answer to that one, please.
Yeah, so within 24 hours, guests are able to view the board or edit if the permission settings have been set to edit. And then if guests actually register for an account, even on a free plan within 24 hours of the meeting ending, they'll also be able to open the board moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Sorry, Brandon and I are having a bit of technical difficulty. Sorry about that, y'all. It'll make the questions just take a bit longer to make sure that we're getting to. All right. Okay, we've got another one that we can answer right now. Are there any additional planned enhancements for the integration with Jira? I might pop that over to Turner perhaps, or Christina, but let me know if there's a better person to answer.
Yeah, I can take that one. So we are always looking for feedback for our Jira integration. Feel free to submit it via our community wish list so we can keep track of what exactly you want to be able to do with it if there's something missing. And we'll definitely take a look at that and implement it soon. Thank you.
Yeah, for the person who asked that question as well, if you'd like to see what currently works with Jira in context, that Agile webinar that I mentioned earlier, we demo it from start to finish. So if you'd like a bit more of a deeper dive and to get to ask a live facilitator questions, we have that available for you as well. Kristen, we've got another question about Miroverse. Do you have to publish a template to have a Miroverse profile?
You do not. Anyone with a Miro account can create a Miroverse profile, which means it's great for sharing your likes if you're wanting to do that, but it's also great for saving your drafts, so it doesn't have to be published at all. Anyone can do it. Well, with anyone with a Miro account.
Wonderful. So Miro account is a prerequisite, but you don't have to publish a template to get access to those awesome likes. Awesome. All right, another question. Which platform has the best integration with Miro that's the easiest for participants? Zoom, Google Meet, Google Meet, MS Teams, other. Lisa, do you want to give a little context about what people can expect from each of these integrations?
Yeah, so actually each of these integrations will have benefits depending on if collaborators are using the same video conferencing tool. So if most of your users are actually on Zoom, for example, then I can imagine that that might be the better integration for you. There's no real differences between the integrations in the sense that they all benefit from the fact that you'll be able to open Miro in the meeting setting, so no need to switch tabs or apps. But we're keen to hear your feedback and your experiences on this as well. So I would encourage you to experiment with whichever integration feels most natural to you, and let us know if you're looking for more or a better experience so that we can follow up on that.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. And Christina, you had raised your hand. Did you have anything to add on the integrations question there too?
No, Lisa covered it.
Great. All right. Wonderful. I knew that would we would probably handle it. Wonderful. All right, Brandon, just waiting for the next one. This one's for Lena. Is that optional if you want to have stickies posted anonymously? So maybe a little more context about the authorship that we can have on sticky notes, whether you can turn it off or on, maybe a little more detail there.
Sure, happy to answer that. And hopefully my
I can
sound.
demo if you need to. Yeah.
So yeah, basically the way we worked on this feature, as you can see, the default is that you don't explicitly see who created the sticky note. And we leave this up to our users. So depending on their preference, what they can do is they can either go to the context menu and enable the author label for the sticky note. Alternatively, they can go for things like color coding, or they can use tags to tag names of users who are submitting ideas, or if the preference of the group is to keep the ideas and suggestions anonymous, it's possible to hide authors and work with the ideas regardless of who submitted them. And again, to emphasize, this is exactly the reason why we did not make author labels and sticky notes the default. We want to make sure that if it's a conscious choice and a preference that collaborators have, they have the option to enable it. If they don't have this preference, they can keep sticky notes without the author labels being displayed. And
Awesome.
Thanks for the demo, Jen.
You're very welcome. And one small other demo, because I can't help myself. I just want everyone to know that when the cursor is blinking inside your sticky note, hit tab. That is the fastest way to get so many good ideas onto the board, and a huge time saver, my favorite hotkey that exists on in Miro. So just wanted to make sure everyone knew that was true as well. Thanks for that update. All right, we've got another question here from, let's see, is there any way to embed a board in a web page or an app with a similar view or characteristics to a Miroverse template? For Christina, could you help us out with a little bit more about embedding into different platforms in apps and integrations?
Yes, of course. So if I understand the question correctly, you're looking to basically embed your live Miro board into any of your web properties, like a website, a blog post, or another application. So excitingly, we do have this capability right now. We are working with a lot of different website providers and apps, such as Notion, WordPress, even Medium. So you can always embed your Miro board and even invite guests to collaborate on it. And we're continuing to work with more partners to make that available across more websites and platforms. And I sent a link to our Help Center article where you can learn more about embedding.
Awesome. Thank you, Christina. All right, we've got another question. Got a little more time. I'm so delighted that we're going to get to answer so many. We have a question from Jim. Can you show how to title a swim lane? I had some trouble changing the font and size of the title that is there. For Turner, do you want me to go ahead and give you the board access so that you can show how to do a little bit with swim lanes?
Yeah, that would be great, Jen.
Perfect. I will give you the remote.
Let's see. So let me see. Is everyone seeing my cursor? Jen, could you just?
We don't see you sharing your screen just yet. Oh, do you want to share your screen so that people can see you actually making actions on the?
No, you can just follow me on the board.
Okay, great. Let me go ahead and get it back up then. And let me follow you on the board and I will re-share. There we are. Perfect.
So I think it was an interesting question. So what you have here is the swim lane itself. At the top left, it states new swim lane. So this is going to be your default name of the swim lane. And what you can do is you can go ahead and change the title of your swim lane. You can change the title itself, but you cannot change the font or the colors or the size because, Jen, if you just want to zoom in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, the top part, so the title of the swim lane, it changes with the size of the zooming. So if you zoom in, yeah, and if you zoom out, there you go. So you'll still be able to see the title of the swim lane. And if you are looking at the lane, so Jen, I think you just changed the lane to Team A. That is a copy that you can change size, color, and font. So I hope that clarifies it.
So we can change just to direct everybody, when you click on this text box, you'll get those customization options there to
That's
allow
right.
you to control everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But the title itself, you cannot change the fonts.
Yeah. So that'll
Yeah.
remain the same right there. Hopefully that answers that question. We do have another question. I think some folks were curious about the mention of accessibility on perhaps some of our future updates and its inclusion in one of our slides. Lena did have a link that she wanted to quickly share with everyone so that you can get up to the minute information about our accessibility improvements. Lena, do you want to share a little bit more?
Yeah, I think generally I'm really excited to say that we have a dedicated accessibility team set up within Miro, and they're working on a long-term roadmap that is going to make sure that we're supporting users with various access needs, and that our user research and user testing is inclusive of users with various access needs. And just like a quick sneak peek, there's something that we're working on that is very close to hitting production. It's currently in private beta with our select customers. It's a setting that allows to reduce motion on Miro boards. This has been a consistent stream of feedback that we were receiving from users. And we are going to reduce motion on Miro boards, making things like presenting from Miro or navigating between frames a lot more inclusive. And there are a lot more things in the works as well. So like you said, Jen, there is a page, miro.com/accessibility, where we have our accessibility statement and our accessibility changelog. So all of the updates that the team is working on are already reflected there and will be reflected there moving forward. So please make sure to check it out. We are planning to bring a lot of exciting updates in the coming quarters, so stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Lena, for that update. We're just getting a request to share that page again in the chat. So if you could drop it in one more time, or Brandon, if you could, thank you so much. Yeah, that is where you're going to get those updates that Lena mentioned. We have time for one last question, and then I want to give you all everything that you need from here. Someone did ask, will the presentation board be available for me to explore right in Miro as opposed to just simply rewatching the recording? The answer is you're going to get both. You'll get the board and recording, so do keep an eye out on your email. That way you can dig a little bit deeper into any of the updates we shared. And don't forget, for a few of those updates, we included a little extra support by way of GIFs or a quick video so that you can rewatch those in action. All right, so if you want to learn more, I just want to kind of wrap us up here and share that so many of you asked so many excellent questions. I really wish that we could answer every single one of them, but we know that many of your questions are answered regularly in our webinar series, also in the Miro.com What's New section. A few of you asked, where can I get those updates immediately? That's where you can get them. We're going to have one more poll out to you just to quickly understand how you like today's webinar, because we love your feedback. We'd love to see what improvements you'd like to see and what you liked about today's session so that we can fold that into the next one in the series. Please don't forget to head to our community to discover and discuss the latest product news, including that ability to share which ones that are upcoming or that you are requesting that are most important to you and your team. And with that, I just wanted to say on the behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for spending the last hour with us, for asking your questions, for your engagement in the chat, for your enthusiasm and your excitement. We're so excited to continue sharing these updates with you. Really appreciate all the great questions. Please do keep an eye out in your email for the copy of the recording and a copy of the board. And with that, we wish you a really excellent rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Keep an eye on the email. We'll get you that recording, that board. Big round of applause to all of our presenters today. Thank you so much for all these amazing updates. And we will catch you all next time. Thank you. Bye, everyone. All right, everyone, going to go ahead and shut things down. We'll see you next time.